The latest polls show Trump dominating the Republican field more than ever, now in a statistical tie with Biden. So could this latest indictment, and the one coming after this one, actually help his 2024 campaign, including in the general election against Biden? Joining us tonight, Elizabeth Vargas, the Emmy Award-winning investigative journalist, my longtime colleague and NewsNation host of Elizabeth Vargas Reports. Scottie Nell Hughes, former Trump campaign surrogate and conservative political strategist, and Chris Hahn, former senior aide to Senator Chuck Schumer and NewsNation political contributor. Scottie, are these things actually good for Trump, even in the general election?
Absolutely.
Really?
In this case, different from the others, because every time you've seen an indictment come down, guess what? His poll numbers have come up because he is in the headlines again, which always is good for Donald Trump if we've not learned from the past. But here's where this could actually be really good for him, because the number one thing hanging over the head not only of Donald Trump, but all Republicans going into the 2024 election is the January 6th. They've continued to be demonized, hit over the head by it time and time again. With this now taking a judicial step, you're going to have a chance for full discovery. That means full transparency. And there's nothing the politicians in D.C. don't like more than full transparency. We're talking the possible subpoena of Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi at the time, Chuck Schumer, the head of security. We're going to find out the truth about what exactly happened that day, the days leading up to it. And that right there could possibly not only clear Trump's name, but remove this cloud that has continued to hit Republicans for so long.
So what's possibly going to be uncovered is that this was actually all just a Democratic plot and this was a false flag,
well,
right?
Republicans, no, there's going to be fault on both sides, but it's not going to firmly lie on Trump's shoulders. It's not going to firmly lie on some of the conservatives who are running for Republicans.
Even theoretically, what could come out realistically that would change the equation in terms of, and again, I'm not talking about legal responsibility, right? Just moral.
Well, you cannot look at what was going on between when the House was running theirs underneath Nancy Pelosi. They were running their investigation and the impeachment trials that both failed, and what the Republicans currently have done in their investigation of January 6th. The videos that have been released that show police officers opening the doors, removing barriers, letting people in, showing them to those offices. You never saw that when the Democrats were in control of the investigation. That's all going to come out, not to mention the words itself, the emails behind the scenes of Nancy Pelosi pulling back security that day. That's going to be entered into a court of law by Trump's attorneys.
She didn't pull back security.
No.
Well, they asked for more security. They told them to. You're going to see the blame game.
She and Mitch McConnell had the same power in that. But anyway, Chris Hahn has been like literally his hands are like shaking like this. And so I
don't worry.
I don't know if my head is spinning because I'm jet lagged or because Scottie just got me wound up so much on that talk. Look, the indictment is not so much about what happened the day of January 6th. It's about what the former president did to cause January 6th, what he knew and didn't know about the election results, how he lied to the American people, how he entered into a conspiracy to try to overturn the results of the election and disregard the votes of 81 million Americans. It is not about where the security guards were on January 6th. It's about everything else and the conspiracy that Trump and Rudy Giuliani and all of the other casts of characters around Trump did to lead to that point. And look, I agree. It will help him short-term politically in the Republican primary. No doubt about it, because the Republican Party right now is in the hands of the MAGA group, and they see this as an attack on Trump. But long-term, I don't know how that is going to convince swing voters in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia. The race is won on the margins, Dan, and it's not run in these big things
But I guess
anymore.
the argument would be that the pylon, right? I mean, that's exactly what Donald Trump has been calling this, is a pylon. Do you think, Elizabeth, politically, that could end up helping him?
I think that having the first indictment come down, being the one in New York City that Alvin Bragg brought, was a disadvantage. It set the stage for, this is bogus. It's a cobbled together felony made of a couple misdemeanors. It's his own private business. I don't want to hear about it. So that sort of set the stage, I think, politically for him to, it was like rocket fuel for him. And he's managed to ride that rocket through the second arraignment and arrest, and this week, probably through the third arraignment and arrest. I think in this case, you know, right now he and his lawyers are framing this as an attack on free speech. I'm able to say I think the election was stolen. He's still saying every day the election was stolen. That hasn't changed. I just think as this case unfolds, that's where the devil in the details is.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.